And today we are going to be doing part 3 of our extended Roblox Studio tutorials. So today we are going to be doing some pretty advanced stuff. Last episode we did do an advanced part, but this might be a tiny bit more advanced. So if you don't get these stuff, as always, I will link videos in the description for you guys to watch. Also, I do recommend you watch full-length videos, as this is going to be a quick overview and short and not going to be a full representation of the entire topic. So of the topics that I cover in this video. So yeah, so I don't just want to jump in real quick. First, we are going to be learning about user input service. Now, what is user input service? It's basically a service in order to get input from the user. Now, in order to use user input service, you need to go down and go to the starter player scripts, and then go to local, and then create a local script, because user input service does not work on regular scripts. Because you're getting input from the user, not the server. So using like a server script wouldn't work. So first we're gonna have to define the user input service. So we can do local user input service is equal to game get service user input service. Now user input service is the first service that we ever use. We are going to be learning about other services, but basically a service, I don't know if you ever like use like C++, Python, and you use like import and using. Well, basically when you do import using, you're importing libraries, or you're doing stuff like that, or include, I should say. And basically, a service is kind of like a library. It's a module that has very different capabilities. So, like user input service makes you capable of getting input from the user. So yeah, and if you don't know what a library is, basically user input service is just it's basically like enum. Like, I don't know if you know what enum is, but enum is like a list of properties that you can do many different things. Like enum, like that. So that's basically user input service. So user input service dot input began :connect function input. Now what we're doing here is whenever our input has begun, we are going to connect. And yeah, and we're gonna make input as one of our parameters. So now whenever we press a key, we're gonna check what key that we pressed and see. Like, let's say if we pressed L, it'll print something. Well, first we have to run the input began event, which basically checks if we press something on our keyboard. And now we're going to check what we press and if it's equal to the L key. And if it is, then we're going to print something. So if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode and any key on your keyboard, I'm going to do K for this. Then, so you might be a bit confused here. As I said, enum is a module. I guess you can say it's kind of like a built-in service, and has a bunch of different capabilities. And it's a list of properties, so you don't have to worry about enum too much. Just know that you can do a lot of stuff with enum. And key code, you might also be wondering, that's basically the key. Like the key so think of input as the keyboard, and then key code as the key. So if keyboard dot key, so we're going into the key of the keyboard, is equal to the value of K, the key value of K, and then we're gonna do this. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so we're gonna do print hello. We're doing hello world. So you're going to be able to play the script, and just a reminder, this should be on a local script. In your starter player scripts, when I join the game, you have a bunch of stuff. This is a bunch of junk that you don't have to worry about. But I'm actually gonna do something really cool. I'm gonna do not really cool, but like true. This might screw up the entire script, but basically now we have bubble chat. But when we press K, it prints hello world. So we can print that as many times as we want. And yeah, so we're not going to save any changes because I was going to bubble chat. And now we can do many different things with this. So another thing you can do with user input service is input ended. And that's just basically the same thing as input began, but it's the opposite. Like once you take your finger off the keyboard, then that's gonna run input ended. So whenever we take it off, we're gonna check if the input is equal. If the input is equal to something. Oop! I forgot to put input here. Input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode. Let's do G then. And we are going to be, we can do actually something different. We can do game.players colon wait for child superpowered 101. Actually, this is just my user. You can put whatever your name is. Superpowered 101 game.workspace wait for child superpowered 101 humanoid health is equal to this plus 1. Now you might be a little confused on what I just wrote, and it's pretty simple. Basically, sorry, this is like pretty hard to read. So first we are going to get game.workspace wait for child. So now we're finding whatever user, and then we're gonna go into the humanoid and we're gonna increase their health by, actually I'm gonna make their max health and max health. So this will make it so that they get more health every time we press the G key. No, not every time we press, every time we stop pressing the G key. So I'm going to hold down the G key, and obviously it doesn't run the script, but if I put my finger off, it obviously you can see our health is going down because when our max health increases, our health seems more little than before. So if we go into our humanoid, scroll down to max health, you can see that it is 132. Unlike the original that is supposed to be, that's supposed to be 100. So every time we press G, it increases our max health. And obviously, if you want to do this for every character, it would be a different script. But I'm just doing this just for me because otherwise it will become complicated. I'm going to show you guys how to do a sprint script. So you know how like whenever you press shift, it makes you sprint? Well, I can show you guys how to do that. So first we can do user input service dot input began colon connect function input. Then we can do if input dot keycode is equal to enum dot keycode dot, we can do left shift. Then first we gotta get the player humanoid. So we're gonna do local player is equal to game.players.local player. Then we can do local humanoid is equal to player dot character dot find first child humanoid. And we can do humanoid dot walk speed is equal to humanoid dot walk speed plus, and whatever amount you want to do it whenever you shift. So we can do 35 or 30. And then we can do the same thing down here. User input service dot input ended connect connect function. And the reason why we have to do input ended is so when you stop pressing the shift key, it will return back to your regular walk speed. So I messed this up. Connect function input. And now we can do if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode.left shift, then local player, and we're just writing what we wrote before. And the reason why I'm writing this out instead of copying and pasting, because it's a better practice, because you guys just learned it. So it's easier to memorize if you keep on writing it. The more you write, the easier to memorize. To walk speed is equal to humanoid dot walk speed is equal to humanoid dot is equal to 10. And actually we can put this to 30 instead of adding. And now let's give this script a shot. So if we run this, everything should go well. So we're gonna load in, and then we're gonna press shift, and as you can see, we're going significantly faster than before. And once we stop pressing shift, we go the same. So I'm going to move sideways like this to show you. So as you can see, this is when I'm pressing shift, and this is when I'm not. So that's how you make a shift script or a sprint script. Alright, next thing we got is parameters. Now parameters, we all know what parameters are. They're basically the things that you put in these little brackets in the inputs. So whenever we do connect function and then we have input, that's a parameter. It's basically a built-in variable that you put in whenever you call a certain event. So let me explain this. So we can do this actually on a server script. And we can make a function, and I'm also going to teach you about some other parameters that are needed, that are actually pretty common. So first we're going to make a function. So local function, we can make it so we find humanoid in character. We're going to do press, and what we're going to do is basically we're going to do instance character. So write that as a parameter. And basically what's going to happen here is we're going to do local, then we can do instance it's actually better to just do like character. So and then we can do character is so then we can do local humanoid is equal to character find first child humanoid, and then we're going to do print humanoid.name. So basically we're going to do find humanoid in char, and then we're going to print our character. And our character is, first we need to get our character, which should be pretty easy. We just need to do game.workspace wait for child, and then we put our name, SuperJared101. And now what's going to happen is it's going to take the character or the parameter, and then we're going to find the humanoid within it. So we're going to run the script, and as you can see, it prints humanoid because it went into our character, found it, and then printed the name. And obviously we can do some pretty cool stuff with this. we can do local humanoid is equal to and then we're going to do return humanoid, and then we can do local humanoid is equal to find humanoid in char, and then we're going to find it, and then we can do humanoid dot health is equal to humanoid dot health minus 50. So this is going to do the same thing, but it's going to minus our health by 50. So as you can see, our health is now 50 less, and we just created a very useful function to immediately get the character. So instead of doing game.workspace wait for child super Jared dot humanoid, we made an entire function to find the humanoid, so we will never have to worry about getting humanoids ever again. Isn't that pretty cool? Well, yeah, that's parameters. We have a few more. We actually have the character parameter, and no, I'm not talking about this character. I'm talking about when a character is added. So if we're going to do game.players.player added, connect function player, and obviously we all know the player parameter. We use it when doing leader stats, and it just gets the player, the one in here, the players, not the character. But in order to get the character, you have to do player.character added connect function, and then we put our parameter character. So basically what's happening here is whenever a player joins, it's going to search for the player's character whenever it's added, and it's going to put that into a parameter. And we can do many things with this. For example, we can make it so that every time someone joins, instead of their walk speed being regular, it is going to be like super fast. So we can do character.humanoid is equal, dot walk speed is equal to 100. And so whenever we join the game, our walk speed should be very, very fast. So we do this, and boom, now we're incredibly fast. And in fact, we might be very fast, but do be careful when doing this kind of script, because sometimes if you get way too fast, instead of just lifting your hand off the key and it not being fast anymore, sometimes you can go so fast you slide off. And yeah, that can be a problem for some people. But anyways, that's really fine so that's the character parameter. Then I can teach you about the hit parameter. Now the hit parameter is a bit different. It's not the same thing as adding a character. The hit parameter is basically putting whatever hit something into a variable. So let's say we're walking and we hit this little part here. We can put whatever hit it into a variable, and we can choose what to do with it. So let's get this part. So let me show you. So first we do local part is equal to script.parent, and then we do part.touched connect function hit. Now touched is an event to whenever something touches it. Now part.touched runs whenever you touch something, and whenever we touch it, the hit is just getting whatever hit it. So first we can do local character is equal to hit.parent, and the reason why we have to do hit.parent is because whenever we're walking over it, it's going to hit one of our legs, not our actual character. So in order to get our character, we have to do the leg and then the parent, because our character holds all of our body parts, including the leg or the torso or the head, stuff like that. So then we can do character.humanoid.health is equal to 0. And we can call this script actually lava brick. And this is actually how people make lava bricks. And we can make the material neon. So in case you didn't know, this is how you make a lava brick. So now if we play the game, humanoid is not a valid member of workspace. Oh, yep, I always forget this. So basically, when so obviously the part is touching the base plate, right? And so the base plate hit it, and then we're going into the parent, which is workspace. But workspace doesn't have humanoid or character. So basically, what we have to do is we have to check if if what hit it has a humanoid, and then we can determine if that's a human or a real player. So we can do local humanoid is equal to character find first child humanoid. So now what's going to happen is whatever touches it, it's going to try and find a humanoid. And now we're going to use an if statement to see if it found it. So if humanoid then. Now if humanoid might sound a bit confusing, but it's the same thing as doing if humanoid is not equal to nil. And if you don't know what nil is, it's basically nothing or not found. And if humanoid is basically saying if it's not equal to nil. Whenever you see if humanoid or if a variable then, that basically means if the variable, when declaring the variable, there was no errors. That's basically what it means when it's just a variable, if variable then. So it's going to see if it found the humanoid, and if it did, we're going to get the humanoid, health, and then we're going to make that to 0. So this is how you make a lava brick, in case if you didn't know. So we're going to walk over it, and it should bring our health to 0. And this is how you make a lava brick. And you can actually make like obbies with this. It's not too hard, but it does take some memorization if you're not used to this kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's the hit parameter. Next we have Pcalls. Now basically Pcalls stand for protected call functions, and they're a type of function to make sure whatever you write in that code is protected from getting an error. So let me write the code for it. So we can do local successful error message pcall function, and boom. So basically, and we have to make this equal. So what's happening here, I don't know if you know this, but you can declare multiple variables in one line. So you can do local hello vary is equal to hello. So now you're saying hello and vary are both equal to hello. But it only works in some situations. You can't do like a local. So that's kind of confusing, but yeah. So local successful error message is equal to pcall. Now you might be a bit confused. What is successful? What is error message? We're gonna get that into later. Just let me show you the entire code. So now we can do game. Let's just write the script. We can do if successful, then print everything went well. And then we can do else. So if it wasn't successful, we can warn error message. So now it's gonna warn an error message. So first, if we run this script just without any code inside of the pcall, obviously it's going to say everything went well, because if there wasn't any code, there's no possible way there could have been an error, so obviously it's going to be successful. But what if we wrote code that is not possible? So for example, local game.workspace.baseplate like a property that doesn't exist, like some spam is equal to true. Now it's not going to give us a red line because it's correct syntax, but it's not like correct grammar, I guess you can say. So if we run this script, it should warn us and say blah 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 is not a valid member of part workspace.baseplate. And that is basically a pcall. It's like it's checking the variable. So I don't know how I can explain this, but whenever you put something in a pcall function, it just wraps whatever you're code inside of it, so it doesn't break the entire script. So obviously we all know that if you mess like one syntax up, your entire script is going to fail. But if you put your code in a Pcall, that means whatever is in a Pcall is protected from ruining the rest of the script. It's protected from giving any other errors. So that's basically Pcalls just check whatever your code is to see if it's right. And I'm going to use this in an example. And also successful is basically saying if it was successful. An error message is saying if it was, it gives you an error message. And so I'm going to show you what to do. So for example, if we just did game.workspace.ldhk equal to true, and then we can do local part is equal to instance.new part, and then we can do part.parent is equal to workspace. So if we run this real quick, it's going to give us an error, obviously, but as you can see, the part isn't created, because whenever you get an error in the script, it ruins the entire script. But let me show you what happens if you put this into a Pcall. So local success error message is equal to Pcall function, and then we put the script in. Oops, sorry about that. Game.workspace.baseplate. And then spam equal to true. If we run this script, obviously it's not gonna print us an error. That's one thing, but it's also gonna actually run the rest of the script. But we can choose it to print the error. Obviously, we know how to print the error. We do if success, then print all. I don't know. All's good. And then if not, then we're gonna warn error message. And I never explained what error message, warn was. Warn is just printing, but in yellow text. That's it. And obviously, DJKH is not a valid member of Workspace, but it checks it and it runs the rest of the script. So that's the beauty of Pcalls. So next we have mouse. Now mouse is it's pretty it gives you just saying mouse is pretty undescriptive, but I'm going to explain what it is. Now we all know the mouse, it's this thing that it's moving around on my screen constantly. I think we all know that, it's a no-brainer. But what people don't know is that you can get the mouse from the user. So if we put a local script in the starter player scripts, we can get the mouse and we can do multiple things with it. So I have the object browser here, and if you want to view this, you can just go into view, the tab view, and then click object browser right here. I'm going to scroll down until I find mouse, and basically this just gives you all the capabilities. Some things we're going to cover is target, so that prints whatever the mouse is hovering over. We're going to be doing we can do target. We can also do hit. This is it prints where the mouse is on the screen. Icon, it changes the icon, so instead of it being this bland arrow, you can change it to be any image you want as long as it's safe for Roblox. And you can do all this built-in stuff like class name and archivable. And yeah, so let's do this. So in order to get the mouse, we have to first get the player. So we can do game.players.localPlayer. Then we have to get the mouse. So local mouse is equal to player : get not children, get mouse. So now we have the mouse from the user, and we can now run any of these things. So we can do print mouse.target, and what's going to happen is it's going to print whatever the mouse is hovering over. Damn, that got leaked. Hey, yo, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. I think it'll be better for the both of us to just never talk about why I was watching that. It's nothing bad, but I was just watching some nostalgic content. So we're going to play this, and you have to do play, not run, because if you play, then it won't get it. And obviously it's going to print nil. And the reason is for that is because the sky is nil, it's nothing. And as I explained earlier, nil is equal to nothing or nothing found or an error, something like that. So if we print mouse.target and it's hovering over the sky, that's nothing. So it's going to print nil because it's printing nothing. Hopefully that makes sense. But if we put this in a loop, so while wait do, and then we can do print mouse.target, it's going to constantly print the mouse, whatever it's hovering on. So if we hover over the part, it's gonna say part. So look at this. So if we hover over the sky, obviously it says nil, as I discussed. But if we hover over the spawn, it says spawn location. We do the base plate, it says base plate. You get the point. But if we do the part, it says part. So yeah, that's mouse.target. Obviously we said print. It's supposed to print mouse.hit. This is gonna print really big numbers, but that's basically the coordinates of the mouse where it is on the screen. So as you can see, it prints these random numbers, but you don't have to worry about hit too much. It's just saying where wait, let me see if I can get it. The coordinate frame of where the mouse ray is. So just saying where the mouse is on the frame. I mean, what are the coordinates of the mouse currently? So yeah, that's mouse.hit. Obviously, there's a bunch of other stuff, but you can watch other videos and discover on your own. None of these things are too important, but I think I covered the most important ones, like target and hit. Hit isn't as important, but target is definitely used for a lot. Idle is too. Idle basically says whenever your mouse is staying still, then run. And then move is the opposite of that. Wheel backwards is saying whenever you're, I don't know, like your middle button, I don't know if you can hear this. It's basically a thing that a mouse, you just scroll up and down, your scroll wheel. So when it says scroll wheel backwards is when you put it down like one peg, like this. Here, let me scroll up, and then whenever you scroll down once, and wheel forward is the exact opposite. Scroll forward once. So yeah, that's mouse. Next we have module scripts. Now module scripts are basically, I guess you can, so we all know about globalized variables, and if you don't, it's basically variables that everything can use. So if you write a globalized variable inside of a Pcall, you can also use the variable inside of a function. So it's basically a variable that's globalized and everyone can use it. So in order to use module scripts, you can first put it in your replicated storage. Don't worry about this classic sword. And we can name this first modules. So basically, we already have some code written here. Local module is equal to this, and then return module. Now basically, I didn't really explain what a module script is. Actually I did, but it's a globalized script. So imagine we wrote like a variable or a table into here. You can get that table within a totally different script. So you can get the table in a variable, and yeah. So let me explain. So we can make a random table. So we can do local numbers is equal to, and we have to do return numbers. And then we can do local numbers is equal to, and then to table these squirrely brackets, and then we can just put some random numbers into here. 99. So now we have some numbers, and now we can create a script in our server script, and we can get these numbers in a totally different place. So we can do local number module. Some people say this module. Some people also do module just like that. Some people say table. I do module, and then local number module is equal to require. So require, you don't have to worry about it. It's just getting. You can also say just get. So that's required. You can get game.replicated storage.first module. So now we got the module, and now we can do number module dot and then all of its contents. Now I'm pretty sure it actually might give this a glitch since it's a number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these numbers into strings. Actually, that might still glitch. So instead of doing numbers, we can do some names like Sydney. And yeah. But you see, this will give you an error. And the reason why? Because this is not just an ordinary table. This is what you call a dictionary. Now, a dictionary, we all know what a dictionary is. It's a ginormous book that tells you a bunch of meaning of things, and that's kind of what a dictionary is here in the case. So it's basically a giant table that declares a lot of variables. So instead of doing just a random number, you can do like 1 is equal to the first numeric symbol in the number lexicon. So I don't know, some random things. And then you can do a semicolon. Actually, you can drop this down here. I'm gonna put that, and then so now you can put a semicolon. When you use semicolons in dictionaries instead of commas. So 1, and then we can do like 2. Random people's favorite number. And then we can do 3 is equal to, did you say tree? And then 4 is equal to lol. And so now we have a bunch of these stuff. Put semicolons and another semicolon. And so now we have the dictionary, and we already got the module, and now we can do number module dot 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we can do 2, and you can do a bunch with 2, but we can do print number module dot 2. Now if we run this script, it will print random people's favorite number. So yeah, that's module scripts. That's pretty much what a module script is. I'm not going to go too in depth because, not going to lie, you rarely use module scripts in the first place, but you can use them for some things. I mean, you can use them to hold values. So like you can hold a player's amount of coins within a leader stat, and then you can get the amount of coins anywhere you want. And you don't have to worry about like defining it every time. So for example, we can do coins is equal. Well, actually we have to do like leader stats, and I don't want to do that. But actually I will. I'll just cut. You guys know how to do leader stats, so I don't even need to show you. I'm just going to cut because this will take long. So I'm going to show you the process. So basically what I did is I defined coins. Also, this is my leader stats script. I'm actually going to rename this to leader stats. Leader stats. And yeah, we all know how to make leader stats. So basically, in first module, I did coins is equal to game.players wait for child super Jared 101. So we're getting my user, and then we're going into the coins. And then basically on this other script, we're doing local module etc. is equal to require game.workspace and replicated storage that first module. Local coins is equal to module etc. dot coins, and then we're gonna add coin value to add 1 to the coin's value. And as you can see, if we do this, you can see that our coins is now 1. So obviously, we didn't even have to define the player. Like, we didn't even have to do a player added, no event. We can just get it from a module script, so we don't have to ever worry about defining that variable. So I guess module scripts are kind of convenient, but other than that, you don't really use them at all. So yeah, so that's module scripts. Next we have tweening or TweenService. This is the second tween of the video. and it's going to be a fun one because tweening is very nice, and I don't even think I can explain it to you. Just think of tweening as hold on. Okay, so basically I can't really tell you tweening, but all I can say is it's a really smooth process. So first we have to get the tween service, as I said, second service of the day, people. So we can do game get service, tween service. And as we all know what a service is now, I taught you, so we're getting the tween module or the tween service. Now we can do local tweening info, I guess you can say, is equal to tween service, or tween info dot new, and then we put in parentheses. First we put, as you can see all the things that we need to put. We need to put the time, we need to put the easing style, the easing direction, and there is more, but it gets cut off. So first we put the time. We can make this last 4 seconds. Then we put a comma, and then we can do easing style. Now in order to do easing style, we can do enum.easing style, and then whatever we want to do. Now you can look up what all these look like, but I like quad the best in my opinion. Then we do easing direction is equal to enum easing direction, and then we do dot and whatever direction we want to do. So in is basically goes in, out makes it go out, and in out does both. So we can do in out, and then we can do comma, repeat count, so how many times we want to repeat. We don't want to repeat it at all, so that's a 0. Comma, how many reverses. We don't want reverses, so we're going to do false. And the delay time, or how long is it. So this is like the wait on it. We don't want any delay. Actually, we can put like 3. So now we have now we have this tweening, and now we can do local goal is equal to tween just a regular table, and then we can do size with a capital S or also a break is equal to 15, 15, 15, and basically. Then we can do local tween play. We can do tween play is equal to tween service colon create. First we do the instance, so what we want to tween, which is script.parent, which is our part. Our script should be inside of a part. We're doing the lava brick that we had before, but if you delete that, you can just create an entirely new part and put a script inside of it. So we're going to do script.parent, and then we're going to do the tween info, which obviously we have here, tweening info. So we put that there, and then we have a property table, which what do you know we have there, so we put goal. And now you can do, I guess, wait 1, and then we can do tween play colon play. So it's going to play the tweening. Now if we run this, it's going to be really exciting. So as you can see, unable to cast a dictionary. This might be a bug. Sorry about this. So maybe let's run this again. Might have been just a regular bug. So unable to cast a dictionary. I actually surprisingly never got that error, but let's see if it can run even without it. So I'm pretty sure when it says dictionary, it's referencing the table here. So I'm going to look into this, and I'm going to get back at you guys, because I actually never got this error before, so this is pretty cool. Sorry guys, so we have to do size is equal to vector3.new, and then we put it in here. 15, 15, 15, and now it should work. Now we run this, and look at this. Boom. Now it gradually gets bigger. Isn't that cool? So yeah, that's just a tiny bit of tweening though. Tweening, not by definition, but it basically just means smoothly transforming into something else. So we're smoothly transforming the size into 15, 15, 15, but we can also do something else. We can also make the transparency do something else. So we can do transparency is equal to 1, so it's going to gradually become invisible. So that should actually be pretty cool. I've never experimented with tweening too much, but I do know its capabilities. I've watched plenty of videos, and boom, look at that. Look how smooth it was. It literally disappeared into nothingness. So you can make like pretty cool animations. Like, you know the meme where that guy just slowly fades out? You can make a moon animation out of that. Like, I'm out, boom, and then he just goes away. That would be pretty funny, actually. So yeah, we have transparency. We can have even like rotation. So I never taught you about angles. I'm not gonna go into it very much right now, but basically, we can do just basically angles. Now I'm actually not sure I'm not too sure the exact attribute name, like what it's really called, so I'm just going to do angle. I'm just going to go down into, so it's orientation. So I'm just going to make orientation is equal to C-frame dot Euler from Euler angles XYZ. Obviously, you don't do that. You just do C-frame dot angles. You could do from Euler angles XYZ, but it looks stupid and nobody uses it, and we have angles. So yeah, angles is on top. Angle game rise up. So first we do C-frame dot angles, and then we do the number. We have to do even equivalent from Euler angles XYZ. We have to do math.rad, and rad is basically a radian. Math.rad is basically just converting your angles into a radian. If you don't know what radian is, it's a unit of measurement. You can look into that, but I'm not going to explain it because it's actually pretty confusing. So now we can do like 5, and then we can do math.rad. 5 again, and then we can also do math.rad 5. So now we can smoothly transform its orientation. TweenService create property orientation cannot be tweened due to mismatch. Property is vector 3, but given type is coordinate free. Yeah, so yeah, I thought so. C-frame.angles is not compatible with TweenService. It's just something about vector 3, but yeah, so we can do like other values. Actually, we can do vector 3. Vector 3 dot new 15, 15, 15. No, I doubt this would work though. Ooh, wait, this actually might work. It only gave us a syntax error. Oh my gosh, wait guys, this is actually exciting for me and you. No way! No way! No way! Oh my gosh, wait, you guys saw that item, you guys saw that. Wait, that was actually really cool. It was like smoothly going away. Let me make this a lot bigger. So now it's gonna like move really fast. So we might have to zoom out for this one. Catch me if you can. So let me see what happens to this part. So as you can see, now it's going somewhere, that's for sure. So yeah, that's tweening. Tweening is basically just smoothly transforming into something. Next video we're going to learn about lerping, which is actually pretty similar to tweening, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe if you found this useful in any other way. Don't eat arachnids, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial or video or anything like that. So bye. Yeah. So I said hello arachnids, now I'm saying don't eat arachnids, because that's cannibalism. So bye. Oh my gosh.